Good morning. So this is going to be probably a pretty quick one, but I just wanted to check in. I had kind of a rough day this past Friday, and I think I mentioned that in my last blog post that I was kind of struggling with a couple things. But, I didn't let it derail me. And even into the weekend, I didn't let it kind of get me off track with my eating. I didn't turn to food for comfort. I probably ate more than normal, but it was all keto friendly and under my carb limit. So I'm pretty proud of that. And things have gotten a little better. I've dropped a little bit of weight. So that's good. I'm still seeing, yo-yos back and forth and kind of getting used to my new normal, which seems to be different than the first time that I did keto. But I'm trying to keep it in perspective. Number one, I do think your body gets used to what you're doing and kind of, just tries to find ways around it to get to that comfortable spot that it's wanting to be in. So I think some of it is that it does know what I'm attempting to do. I think part of it too is when you go back and forth between diets, whether one's good or bad or whatever, or, like in my case and in most of our cases where we've eaten a truly unhealthy diet for years and years and years, I think we're metabolically damaged to some extent. And your body goes through a healing process. So you're not always going to see, this straight downward line. I mean, number one, that's not how bodies work anyway. But with the yo-yoing, I'm trying to keep in mind that my body is attempting to heal years worth of bad behavior on my part that's probably damaged it on the inside. And it's busy repairing those things and finding a new way to work that's healthier. And I'm sure that's part of it. I'm sure also that, there have been days, because we've had a lot of dinners out lately. So I'm sure there's been days where I've had to estimate my carbs and maybe they were over. Maybe I didn't think they were, and they were, because you can't control your food when someone else is making it. And I think that's probably some of what has happened. Maybe. Anyway, I've done my best. Like I even created a little food or recipe or whatever you want to call it in MyFitnessPal. That doesn't have anything in it but like a couple extra carbs, so that if I think I'm going to be in a situation where I might get extra carbs added into my stuff and not realize it, I can just like add a couple in as a buffer, which might be overkill, but I've done that too. September is one of those months for us too. Like, do you guys have months where it just seems like everything happens that month? Because September is that month for my family. We have 3 birthdays in September. We have school starting back in September. We have Girl Scouts starting back up in September for my daughter. And we have my wedding anniversary. It's all in September. So, and when I say birthdays, like major birthdays, like one of my best friends, my dad, and my husband, all 3 in September. So it's a busy month for us, which means lots of celebrating. That's why I'm bringing that up, is that we go out a lot in September. We spend a lot of money in September. But we spend a lot of time at restaurants or, in celebratory situations. So September's a hard month, partially because there's a lot of temptation, and partially because, like I said, when you go out, you don't know what's in your food. You're guessing. Even if it's in MyFitnessPal and it's logged in there, the cook that made your stuff on that day could have used more sauce or more seasoning or whatever it is, or the portion size could have been slightly larger than it was in the one that you logged. So it can be hard. So I'm trying to keep that in perspective. So, it is what it is. But the nice thing is I started using a different spreadsheet to track my weight. I've been using a spreadsheet for the last year to kind of track my weight so I can see fluctuations and trends and patterns and things like that. So it kind of helps keep me sane. But I started using a new one that incorporates a graph. And the reason I like the graph, like I know you can get the graph on MyFitnessPal, but the reason I like this graph is because it includes a trend line. So it's basically saying like, okay, if I continue to do things exactly the way I'm doing them right now, fluctuations and all, this is the trend. This is how much weight I can project to lose within the next couple of months or a year or whatever. And I like that because it helps put it in perspective for me. that along with these things that I know, weight is going to fluctuate anyway, that my body is probably trying to heal itself, that there may be hidden carbs in what I'm eating that I'm not realizing, or intending to eat, that aside from all those things, that the weight is still going down. It is still trending down. I am doing okay. That slow loss is still loss, and that 2 months from now, I can still expect to be at a better spot than I am now, even if it's not as low as I would have liked. But that trend line is help keeping me in the right mindset that I'm making progress and it's okay. So suggestions, get some perspective. Nobody's body is the same as anybody else's. And if you can, either create a spreadsheet that has a trend line, because seriously, it helps. Or if you want, get in touch with me, contact me through the website, and I'm happy to share mine. It's nice. I can't take credit for creating it. It was from Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey. She shared it, but I've tweaked it, so I've changed it. It's different than her spreadsheet was. So I've added some things and taken out others, and yeah. So anyway, let me know if you're interested in something like that. I can give you a different version of it. I don't think she probably wants me sharing hers, but I'll give you a different version that I've kind of created for myself. Anyway, so this week I'm trying to just keep focusing on the trend, keep focusing on the positive stuff, reminding myself that I don't have to turn to food every little setback. Tomorrow might be kind of a test for me, because I have, I have my follow-up orthopedic appointment with the surgeon to see if he's going to release me for surgery now, which I've been waiting on, and I really, really want to get the surgery done. And I'm kind of nervous about it because, the last 4 times he hasn't cleared me for surgery, even though I have been working hard. And I guess I'm a little even more nervous because, my physical therapist was giving me pointers on things she thought I needed to work on to get cleared. One of which was walking without a limp, and the other one was being able to stand on my leg while it's completely straight. So Saturday, while I was getting ready to go out with my husband, I forced my leg straight and stood on it the entire time I was getting ready, so the better part of 45 minutes. And when I went to go walk away from my bathroom mirror, it dislocated pretty bad, like really bad, and it's been sore ever since. So now I'm limping worse than before. So I've been icing it a lot and putting heat on it and taping it and things like that to try to help it, but I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be where he wants me to be tomorrow as a result. So trying not to dwell on that, trying to think positive thoughts that it could still be fine, or that maybe he'll have mercy on me. We'll see. But if that doesn't go my way, tomorrow could be a rough day. So I'm recording this now in a way to help myself remember that a bad day is just that. It's just a bad day. It doesn't have to turn into a bad week. It doesn't have to turn into me derailing my entire diet because I'm upset, or slacking on any of my other personal goals. So perspective. I guess that's the good title for this video today, is just to keep some perspective, to back up from it and put it in its proper place, that it doesn't have to be this larger than life thing. So that's it for today. Wish me luck for tomorrow, everybody. Bye.